You love your kid more than anything, but somehow that love isn't reaching them. You're showing up, sacrificing, trying everything, and they still pull away from you. They say things like, leave me alone, or they'll roll their eyes, and you're left thinking, what else can I do? What am I doing wrong? If you're starting to feel like love isn't enough, this isn't about how much you care. This is about what your teen needs to feel safe with you. Love is necessary, but it's not the full story. Teens aren't rejecting your love. They're rejecting the pressure, the emotional demand that for you feels like love. So let's translate this behavior a little bit. Through the eyes of a teen, when a parent shows up saying, I'm doing all of this for you, it doesn't feel like love, it feels like a trap. Your love for them might feel warm to you, but to them it can feel like pressure or expectations that they're not meeting. So let's go into the blind spot, the thing that you may just not see. You're showing up with everything you've got, but it's not coming from presence, it's coming from panic. They don't want to be your project, they want to be your person. You're not failing, you're just parenting from a place of fear, not connection. And it's because you care. You actually genuinely give a because no one taught you how to separate love from control and urgency from leadership. It's ironic, right, that you care so deeply that it's become overwhelming for both of you. So the good news is there's actionable solutions that can take place here. And here's a few that I found have been really helpful. One of the best things to say is, I've been trying to love you into regulation or into calmness or into a place that has more to do with me than it does with you. And that's not fair to either of us. When I have seen parents name their own part and their relationship with their teen, it opens up a brand new space with connection. This one's a little more challenging, but the whole idea is to shift your perspective from needy to neutral. Love isn't the problem. Making your own emotional needs about your child is the problem. And I'm not saying to stop caring. The fix isn't to stop caring. The fix is to stop leading from pressure. Now, this next point for some of you might feel a little weird, a little foo-foo, therapeutic type weird stuff, but hear me out. What you want to do is ground yourself before you meet your teen. And when I say ground, I don't mean hum and like planting your feet and all that stuff. The way that I see it is grounding is a great way to bring awareness to what's happening. That's all it is. It's an insight-oriented activity to support you in understanding more what's happening internally for you, so that when you approach your kid, you're not overwhelming your system, and therefore they're not overwhelming theirs trying to fix your system, and you're not. It's this whole cycle thing that we get into. And I say this a lot, just be. What does it look like for me to just exist? To be present, to not shove things out onto somebody else in order to fix things because of my own stuff that's coming up for me. But how do I maintain and regulate my own system so that I can show up present with my kid? Another important thing to remember is your teen doesn't always need a lecture. Yes, they need lessons, they need education, but they don't always need a lecture. Sometimes that's not priority number one. I love analogies. A good analogy is a lighthouse and a ship. If your teen's a ship out in the ocean trying to figure its way, sometimes the best thing you can do is just be the lighthouse, a safe response to how to move forward. And this leads into my next one, which is to build back trust. Show up with a non-demanding presence. You want to offer connection without an agenda. Let them be the one who moves closer for once. The hope with this stuff is that you just see a different way of doing things, a different way of not beating yourself up, a way to be more compassionate with yourself, a way to slow things down, a more hands-on approach. Your love is powerful, but it can't stop there, right? It's not a substitute for leadership. It's not a substitute for connection. It is a great way to get there. Not the kind of love that controls, the kind of love that sets boundaries, co-regulates, and doesn't panic when things start to blow absolute haywire when you have a teen. I mean, teens are crazy. Like I was insane. I've worked with kids for a long time, and a lot of times you're just banging your head up against the wall, like what the heck is going on? In reality, that's okay. It may not have anything to do with you, and if it does, what are you telling yourself about that? And also, like, what can we do better? That's what this is all about, offering new lenses and new perspectives to things you might have not known was going on. Blind spots. We all just have blind spots. When you stop trying to love them into better behavior and start showing up with less emotional demand, they begin to trust again. I see it all the time. The more you try to break the cycle and the more consistent you stay showing up, very clear-minded, very clear-cut, they begin to gravitate towards that again because that's safety and that's anchoring to someone who doesn't feel safe. And from that foundation, everything can change. A whole new world opens up, and I'd love to help you walk through that. I'd love to know what helped you realize that love alone wasn't cutting it. Or maybe you're still there. Drop it in the comments, or if you're not ready to talk about it yet, Totally get it. Save this video for when you are. We're not alone in this. There's other ways to go about it. Above all, the most important thing is just to be patient with yourself. My encouragement to you is to practice patience with yourself. It's the best way to practice patience with others.